back to Smoaking Sports. Here we go. I'm your host, Will Smoak, Smoak, Smoking Sports. I'm going to go over some of the NFL games from this week 14, and then some NFL power rankings. Let's get into it, starting with a very pivotal game for the NFC, and that is the Detroit-Dallas game on Thursday. Thursday Night Football finally got a good game. Not really, though, because Detroit won 44-30. Dak Prescott had a good game, and I thought Dallas's offense was good, but Jahmyr Gibbs, great game, and Detroit ends up with a win, which really catapults their playoff chances way up. Seattle beat Atlanta, starting the Sunday games 37-9. And this is just an absolute blowout. Atlanta is pretty much just going for a top pick, and we'll see where they go from there with what they pick. Really good game in the next one. Cincinnati-Buffalo, 39-34. Buffalo did end up winning, and I think Cincinnati and Joe Burrow is definitely showing his value to this team. And Buffalo just won a huge game to not only keep their playoff hopes, you want to keep them way up, but also to, I do believe they still have a shot at beating the Patriots. So that's how he's up there. And then you have a very controversial game. You have Tennessee at Cleveland, 31-29. Cleveland did lose. Shedeur Sanders, though, had 364 yards, 3 passing touchdowns, and 1 rushing. The last player to do that was Joe Burrow. Shedeur was named the starter for the rest of the year. I think that was a great decision from the Browns organization. However, on their 2-point conversion to tie the game and send it into overtime, they did not have Shedeur on the field. Give or take, I think the play would have worked. I thought it was a good play. The play that they ran where they pitch it back like that, I think it would have worked. But of course, the dude that was in there forgot to pitch it back. And then we end up with this situation here where now there's lots of controversy. And I would be surprised if Kevin Stefanski is indeed around, whether or not it was his fault. But I definitely think Shedeur Sanders really proved why he was projected to be a first-round pick. Minnesota at Washington. 9 is back. 31-0 win. Not really. He really didn't play anything spectacular. He played better than he has in previous weeks. 31-0 win against Washington. At this point, Washington, you might as well just get the best pick possible. Don't even try to win games at this point. Miami at New York. The Jets lost 10-34. Rough. Miami actually keeps their playoff hopes alive, even though it is extremely unlikely that they do make it. They are still alive. Tampa Bay and New Orleans. This one actually really makes things interesting in the NFC here. New Orleans won 24-20. And this was a real shocking game. And I don't really know what happened to the Buccaneers. They just did not play a good game. And now they are tied with the Panthers for the division. And they have 2 games coming up. So we'll see how those go. I think that'll be a huge playoff spot to fight for. Indianapolis at Jacksonville. Daniel Jones went down with an Achilles tear. Ending his season, which is where you get the Phillip Rivers, old man, 44 years old. Phillip Rivers is coming back to play quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts, if you did not already know, after their loss 36-19 against Jacksonville. Ouch. Pittsburgh beat Baltimore 27-22. Another interesting and controversial call where they called a touchdown back as an incomplete pass for Isaiah Likely. I think it was a touchdown. I think it should have counted. It did not. And Baltimore lost. They have not played good recently at all. And I wouldn't be surprised if Pittsburgh does end up getting into the playoffs. Denver and Las Vegas. Denver won 24-17. I want them to blow out a team for once, but they can just never do that. Don't know why. But they won another game. They're still, I think, tied for the 1 seed with New England. So that's an interesting one to watch. Chicago at Green Bay for the NFC North. Green Bay comes out with a win 28-21. Huge win for the Packers. And the Bears went from the 1 seed to the 7 seed just off this week. And that's how much this NFC, how close it is and how much it can flip on you just like that. And Green Bay is up there now as the 2 seed, I believe. Los Angeles at Arizona. The Rams won 45-17. Not even a game, really. Blake Corum had 120 yards. Puka Nacua had 167. Matthew Stafford, 181 total passing yards. Really, the Rams are just looking like a true contending team. And then on Sunday Night Football, big game in the AFC. Houston at Kansas City. Houston won 20-10, effectively ending the Chiefs' hopes. They would need everyone else pretty much as so like Chargers. They would need who else? Indianapolis, Miami, Cincinnati, the Ravens, the Steelers. They need every single team to lose out, and I highly doubt that happens. So they will not be getting into the playoffs for the first time in the Patrick Mahomes era. Houston's red hot. Their defense is great, and they can definitely make a push for a playoff spot here, especially with the Colts now essentially out. Then on Monday Night Football, an ugly game where there was Jalen Hurts committed 2 turnovers in 1 play, and Philly ended up losing in overtime 19-22 to the Chargers, and Philly is falling. A huge win for the Chargers. I don't know what is happening. I doubt Philly wins a playoff game. New England, the Giants, San Francisco, and Carolina were all on bye this week. So an interesting one. Let's get into my power rankings. Starting off at number 32, we're keeping the Tennessee Titans. Just not a good team. Number 31 is the Las Vegas Raiders. I guess now Gino's dealing with a shoulder injury. Really, honestly, whoop-de-doo. The team is not good anyway. Number 30 is the New York Jets. Well, was Brady Cook was their quarterback this week is odd. 29 is the Arizona Cardinals. End of the Kyler Murray era, I think, is officially here. You just take the best quarterback available. Number 28 is the New York Giants. Jackson Dart has gotten hurt a lot this year. Number 27 is the New Orleans Saints. Tyler Shuck has gotten them 2 wins now, I believe. They played a lot better under him. I think you give him a second year to prove himself and see how he does. Number 26 is the Atlanta Falcons. It's been rough. I do wonder what they're going to do this offseason. If they get a top pick here, Michael Penix is hurt. Would they be willing to trade Michael Penix and draft a top quarterback if they get the opportunity? I don't think so. But it's out there. 25 is the Commanders. They're not getting a new quarterback. They just need people around him. 24 is the Cleveland Browns. Shador is the guy. I spam that Selly way too much, by the way. Number 23 is the Minnesota Vikings. We can't have in this. I've gone on for weeks now how I say at the end of this year, I want to know if 9, J.J. McCarthy, is the Vikings guy. I don't want to have to go through another season of J.J. McCarthy if he's not your dude. Yet he comes out, he plays decent, they get a win. Then the next week he just plays trash. We're talking, 5th round pick bad. And it's memes, and it's horrible, and the Vikings are just getting absolutely killed. Justin Jefferson can't do anything. And it's like, well, he's not your guy. And then he goes and reproves himself, having a decent game the next week. I don't know about this inconsistency, but it cannot keep happening. 22 is the Kansas City Chiefs. Falling off. They're not making the playoffs this year. Not everything is Mahomes' fault, though. I think this roster just really isn't not that. It's really just not that good this year. So I don't think that is Mahomes' fault. Number 21 is the Miami Dolphins. They just keep winning. Don't really know why. 20 is the Cincinnati Bengals. I definitely think they really showed this year how much of a difference Joe Burrow makes. 19 is the Baltimore Ravens. They might not win the division. They might be with the Chiefs in Cancun at the end of the year, which would be very interesting. And it would give the Bills, I think, a legit shot to make a run this year. 18 is the Steelers. They currently have the AFC North. I don't think they're a good team. They just have a bad division. 17 is the Dallas Cowboys. Great offense, bad defense. 16, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, really falling now with Panthers on their bye week, essentially got a win since they lost. Not good. 15 is the Indianapolis Colts. Daniel Jones out. I'm curious to see how good Phillip Rivers actually is. 14 is the Carolina Panthers, and they are climbing. 13 is the San Francisco 49ers. We'll see what playoff spot they end up getting, because if scenarios fall right, they could miss the playoffs still. 12 is the Chargers. They got a much needed win over the Eagles. I think they've almost secured their playoff spot. I definitely think they get in. 11 is the Texans. Red hot. Best defense in the league. Love to see it. 10 is the Bears. That was a horrible pick thrown by Caleb Williams at the end of the game to seal it. 9 is the Eagles, falling apart. 8 is the Lions, climbing up. I think they'll have a playoff spot. 7 is the Jaguars. They are also climbing. I mean, Liam Cohen might win the division. 6 is the Bills. Like I said, I think they're the best team in the AFC. That'll make the playoffs. Number 5 is the Broncos. Kind of frauds, can't win a game. I mean, they're winning plenty of games, just can't win it like they should. Number 4 is the Packers. The Micah Parsons trade has been really great, and when Jordan Love shows up, this offense is spectacular. 3 is the Rams. This team is also a very serious title contender. 2 is the Seahawks. Sam Darnold, I think, has proven this year that he is actually a legit franchise quarterback. Number 1 is, for the 5th week in a row, is the New England Patriots. And yeah, you really just, they're back on top. So get used to it, because I wouldn't be surprised if they have a Commander season and end up losing. I also wouldn't be surprised if they end up just becoming the next great dynasty. Also, if you couldn't see, I got a nice block over here. Anyway, I'm Will Smoak, signing off. Have a great day.